Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. What time is today's match? Guys, does anyone know how much the dollar has reached? Or what happened in Japan? Does anyone have any information about how old Queen Elizabeth is? You can find out in a moment by simply logging into the search engine giant Google. And it's not just information. Google has become a leading company in the world of artificial intelligence and even self-driving cars. Google knows almost everything about everything. Do you think we know anything about Google? Welcome, but before we begin, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive our videos first. Google is the word many of us use to launch the Google Assistant app. But do you think it only helps you? In 2019, there are a number of recordings. The audio recordings were accidentally leaked. These recordings were of people speaking Dutch, and they were conversations between them. They were recorded by Google Assistant without their knowledge. What's strange is that some of these recordings contained very private and specific information, such as names and addresses. When Google was confronted with these files, it was forced to admit that they had recorded the conversations of the users. After these users accidentally activated Google Assistant, the recordings began to be recorded. This recording was intentional because Google employees listened to these recordings. The company justified the recording by saying that they were using it to improve the capabilities and skills of artificial intelligence. They also explained that they had listened to 0.2% of the recordings, after which all the data was deleted. The company's books and its employees revealed that they had heard the conversations in all their details. It's worth noting that this isn't the first time Google has been accused of spying on or recording users' conversations. In 2017, the company admitted that a technical glitch in one of its devices allowed the devices to record users' conversations even when they were locked. If you're near your phone, be careful. What you're saying is that Google knows almost all your movements. Once you look at the privacy policy in the Google Maps app, you'll realize that you're being monitored all the time. All your movements are recorded in the app's timeline. This means that your location is automatically determined the entire time you're there. You'll be told, okay, we can simply stop the company from tracking us by adjusting our privacy settings and deleting our timeline. I'll tell you, if you think the matter is that simple, you're wrong. Google has permission through its apps to know more about you than you can imagine. Your IP, the people you communicate with via Google applications, the websites you visit every day, the nature of the messages you send or receive on Gmail, all of these are simple pieces of information Google collects from you around the clock. And this information is more than enough because they know almost everything about you, including your location. Specifically, cookies. And by this, I don't mean the biscuit we drink with milk. This is something else entirely. Cookies are the name Google chose for the small files it sends to our devices when we enter a new website for the first time. The purpose of these files is to save information about you, such as your username or password, so that when you enter the website again, it recognizes you without asking you to enter your password every time. You'll say, well, these are nice cookies, right? I'll say, no, these are bad cookies. Through these cookies, they know a lot of information about you, such as the number of pages you visit, the number of times you visited this site, the time you spent on the site, the ads you liked, and so on. When you visit this site and find ads for your favorite restaurant or clothing brand, this isn't just a happy coincidence. Because Google is a large company, many users trust it, and this reason has made the company generate billions of dollars. Google relies primarily on advertisers' ads for its revenue. Because Google owns the most popular browser in the world, many companies are greedy about promoting themselves, which has contributed to Google's significant growth. But are all advertising companies trustworthy? The short answer is no. Many of the companies that advertise through Google pretend to be fraudulent companies. The pages of these companies explain to investors how much they can earn through them, but they hide the extent of the risk to capital or the margin of loss in these investments. Because new investors are initially lost, they are sold out, distracted by profitable investment opportunities. Of course, searches are conducted through the most widely used browser in the world, Google. As a company, it controls 90% of the world's search engine malfunctions. It is supposed to be keen on its credibility, but all of this EVA. You don't know what Go is. It's a Chinese game invented about 4,000 years ago. It belongs to the board game category. If you think this is normal and there's no cause for concern, let me tell you what happened in 2017. That year, the system's developers wanted to test its behavior under pressure, or, more precisely, under conditions where the system was about to fail. The results the developers discovered weren't promising at all. The developers discovered that the system, in this state, was very aggressive, or should we say, terrifyingly aggressive. The developers designed a simple competitive game between two players. Here, they were artificial intelligence systems for DeepMind. The game was very simple. They would try to collect the largest number of virtual apples. Things were very difficult at the beginning, when apples were available. By breaking them, each competitor would try to collect the largest number of apples in peace. But then, when apples became scarce, and competition for them increased, and the system sensed that it might lose, the competitors literally opened fire on each other. Players began shooting laser beams at each other. If these beams hit one of them, they would be temporarily out of the game. Of course, the apple would then go to the other player. This game, despite its simplicity, raised many questions in our minds. Is it possible for machines to behave like these advanced artificial intelligence systems? Will they then be subject to our will? Regardless of the fact that these questions are important and logical, the more important question here is, what does Google intend to do? Night Angel is the name of a secret project between Google and Ascension. Ascension is an American non-profit organization whose goal is to provide health care to everyone, especially the needy. However, in 2019, a Google employee revealed a secret project between the organization and Google. The project involved the organization sending Google the health data of 50 million Americans from 21 different states. An employee revealed this in a video about the transferred files, which contained almost all of the patient's data, including their health status, medical reports, the types of medications they used, their names, and their addresses. This project was suspicious for many reasons. The first was that if any data is to be transferred from one place to another, the transfer must be done after the data owner's consent. If the data is medical, the patient must first agree. After that, all their personal data must be deleted. However, in this case, the data reached Google secretly without the patient's consent. It contained extremely confidential information about the patients. This project raised many questions, such as, what will Google gain from this data, and will it be used? In developing medical artificial intelligence systems, they don't intend to do what? Does this data have any relevance to the pharmaceutical industry in America? The truth is, no one knows the answer to these questions yet, but with time, everything will become clear. That's it. Who made it this far? All those who made it, you are the best. Give us a like before you leave so we can see how many of us made it to the end. Don't forget, if you have a suggestion for an episode, write it down in the comments. Most of the episodes we're making now are taken from your comments. Bye.